Nation, what's going on? You're watching the Raiders Report. Coming up, we got a full 7-round mock draft, and at the very end, I want you to stay tuned and let me know what you're going to grade my mock draft. So, when you look at the Raiders 2020 draft picks, round 1, pick number 12. Also pick 19 from the Bears. Round 3, we have 3 picks, okay? This is exciting because we have 5 picks in the top 100. So we got 80, 81 from the Bears, and we got 91 from the Seattle Seahawks. Round 4, we got pick 111. And then an important note here for round 7, pick 204. This is the conditional pick from the Mack trade, okay? Now, it could land anywhere between the 5th and the 7th, but from my understanding, it's expected to be in the 7th round, okay? So just keep that in mind. Now, I want you guys to subscribe to the Raiders Report. The reason why I'm doing a mock draft is because the subscribers, they said, Mitch, get out a mock draft already. So I got you. So I need 3,200 new subscribers by March. I want to continue to do daily videos the entire offseason. So if you're not already subscribed, click that big red button. We'll put the link in the chat, youtube.com/Raiders Report. And the entire month of February is me showing my appreciation to my new subscribers. So Michael, appreciate you. TRI fam, Gregory, oh boy, Gabelo, Lord Morton LM360, and then Christina M. I appreciate you. Take a screenshot, tweet it out, tell your friends to subscribe to the Raiders Report. So what's the Raiders' biggest need? We're doing a mock draft. We know that the Raiders have a lot of needs, so I want you to put your comments in. Linebacker, wide receiver, cornerback. Now, for those of you that are watching this on YouTube, you might get hit with an ad break. So while that ad is playing, I want you to scroll on down, and I'm going to make this the pinned comment on today's video. What's the Raiders' biggest need? Linebacker, wide receiver, or cornerback? So when I did my mock draft, these are the top 2 wide receivers that were, we'll say, on the board. Now, the Jets at pick 11, they actually took one of these receivers out from underneath me. But I want to play the hypothetical. Let's say both of these guys are on the board. CeeDee Lamb or Jerry Jeudy. Which wide receiver would you go with? Would you go with CeeDee or would you go with Jerry Jeudy? So, you guys know the drill if you've watched the show. I want you to type CeeDee for Lamb or I want you to type JJ for Jeudy. Which wide receiver would you go with at pick number 12? Get your votes in, Henry, Chad. Seeing a lot of CeeDees. So, the New York Jets at pick 11, they went with wide receiver Jerry Jeudy, which then for me made it very easy for me to go with CeeDee Lamb at pick number 12. He is a great receiver for this Raiders offense. Elite speed, and I think would fit Gruden's offense scheme, but also like is the type of dude that Gruden wants. He is tough, not easy to take down. And if you're looking for a receiver with yard after the catch ability, it's CeeDee Lamb. At 6'2", 191 pounds, yes, he does need to fill out a little bit. NFL players, they will put on weight. Almost guarantee it. Some weight's better than others. Sorry, Chris Warren. But I think CeeDee Lamb is a player that will fit this team very, very well and would help. It would help figure out whether or not Derek Carr is the future for the Raiders organization. Now, BetDSI, they're the internet's #1 sports book. Go to chatsports.com/bet and use our promo code Raiders120. Gets you 120% deposit bonus. So if you want to bet on the NFL draft props, get it right, Mitch? If you want to bet on the NBA, you can do it at BetDSI. Hell, they even have cricket there. Go to chatsports.com/bet. Use the promo code Raiders120. Put down 50. You can get 60 for free. So I wanted to show you guys, I did a draft simulation. These were the 5 players that were taken ahead of pick number 19. Javon Kinlaw, Henry Ruggs, AJ Epinesa, CJ Henderson, and then K'Lavon Chasen. Got it. So those were the 5 players. So this is what I wanted to ask you guys, okay? Who would you draft? Type A for Kristian Fulton. Type B for Xavier McKinney. Type C for Patrick Queen. Type D for T. Higgins. Or I want you to type F for Jordan Love. I'm going to let this up on screen for a little bit. I want you to get your votes in. And I want you to let me know. So knowing that we already went CeeDee Lamb at pick 12, who would you guys go with? I'm seeing a lot of C's. Seeing some A's from King Higgins. I'm seeing a D from Colin Campbell. Said go T. Higgins. Right now, I would actually say that 75% of the live watchers are going to go with Patrick Queen. So guess what? Don't get mad at me. I'm going to type my A, and I'm going to go with Kristian Fulton because I think Kristian Fulton is a better player than Patrick Queen. Yes, Patrick Queen probably feels a bigger need. However, I think Kristian Fulton is a really, really solid player who just can cover receivers. And I am so sick and tired of watching our cornerbacks get roasted. I think if we go out, you put Kristian Fulton, you put him right next to Trayvon Mullen. You got Darren Wollery out there also, Daryl Worley. You can also figure out what you're going to do with Markus Joyner. Kristian Fulton is a very, very talented cornerback out of LSU at 6 foot, 200 pounds. And I think certain colleges can breed certain positions. LSU is great at breeding safeties and cornerbacks. Now, when I look at LSU stats, people did not want to throw to Fulton. He's one of the bigger reasons also why LSU won a national championship. Like, yes, Joe Burrow, that offense is the biggest reason, but I want winners. And I know Gruden, they want winners. It's one of the biggest reasons why they drafted so many players from Clemson last year. Winners. LSU, champion. You're going to see something again. You're going to see them going after a lot of champions. So, I want you to name a player the Raiders should target in the 3rd round. We have 3 picks in round 3. So I want you to throw in the comments section. I want you to name a player that they should target in the 3rd round. I'm going to give some shout-outs now. So we got official King Boys. Okay, Bernard. Who do you guys want them to go with in the 3rd round? Somebody said Cam Akers. Woods, maybe. Michael Pittman Jr. Evan Weaver from Dave Dawes. Icy Nate, appreciate the comment. King Higgins says Michael Pittman Jr. out of USC. Okay. Jalen Hurts from Randy. That one hurts a little bit. I want you to continue to get your votes in. Name a player. Stumbling upward, says Dylan's mom. I will admit, she's got it going on. So, let's go to the first pick that we have here in the 3rd round at number 80. I'm going to go with Akeem Davis-Gaither, linebacker out of Appalachian State. So, he's undersized, but he's extremely physical. He's going to look for contact, especially against the run. But he's versatile, okay? That's something that I want you guys to keep in mind. I want you to basically climb into Mike Mayock and Jon Gruden's head and think how they would draft. At 6'2", 215 pounds, he's a little bit thin. He needs to add about 20 pounds. But the best part about Akeem, he has the frame to do it. A lot of times if a player needs to add weight, it's not good weight. You put Akeem on the Raiders in an NFL locker room and tell him to put on some weight, he can do it. He can also cover running backs. He can cover tight ends. Something that Tahir Whitehead can't do. Now, Akeem is probably going to end up being a weak side linebacker for the Raiders. But with me going with CeeDee Lamb and then a cornerback, I'm really happy that I was able to get Akeem in the 3rd round. Because also, I want the Raiders to go out and get linebackers in free agency. Free agency is after the draft. Keep that in mind for this mock draft. So what's your go-to Valentine's Day gift? I can't show it on screen personally because the table doesn't go down that low. So what's your go-to Valentine's Day gift? I want you to throw it in the comments section. If for those of you that are single, for those of you that are, I don't know, it's complicated, married, I'm new to this whole Valentine's Day thing, believe it or not, and I need some ideas. So what's your go-to Valentine's Day gift? And coming up, I got some special deals for you if you still don't have any idea. Let's go to the 3rd round here again. Pick number 81. The Raiders have back-to-back picks. Bradlee and I. Yes, love it. I love the fact that I can literally just say, Bradlee and I took a stroll. Bradlee and I, if you want to come on the Raiders Report, we can do it. So he's a high-effort competitor that always hustles. Who does that sound like to me? Max Crosby. Now, the biggest weakness for him is his length. Dude's got short arms. Unlike Max Crosby, who they call the Condor. But if you want to go back and look at some of the quotes that Mike Mayock has said, if you want to go look at some things that John and what they did last year, they're going to look for football players that got high IQs. It sounds a little bit Patriot-esque, but it works. And I think right now you see a lot of these players that fit into this scheme. They fit into the system. Bradlee and I think the role that I would like him to play is like a Benson Mayowa role, where you can put him in, maybe have him in on there on 3rd down, hustle his butt off, and then let Cleveland and Max kind of just wipe everything else up. Let's go now to pick number 91 of my mock draft. I'm going to go Denzel Mims, wide receiver from Baylor. I think you can consider him a strong day 2 candidate. And for the Raiders that need wide receiver help, okay, you need a bigger guy. He's 6'3", he's 215 pounds. I think his best trait is his catch radius. His worst trait is route running. And every single time I talk about offensive players, especially wide receivers, they're always like, Mitch, what's an NFL comparison? For me, I think he has the upside to be somebody like a Kenny Galladay. I think that's fair. But for somebody who has the catch radius of Mims, the dude could literally catch the moon. Probably even catch Mars, and you know what? If you're into it, Uranus. But hey, I'm not going to get into that. I will get into this deal, though. Chatsports.com/flowers. 15% off. I told y'all, if you need a gift idea for Valentine's Day, which is literally right around the corner, pay attention right now. 50% off all gifts, flowers, and if you're like, you know what, Mitch, I don't want to buy flowers, how about this? Buy your wife, buy your girlfriend, buy your mom some cookies, and if you still live with your mom, or if you're living with your significant other, you can also eat the cookies yourself. Win-win. Chatsports.com/flowers. Jim Kelly says, Mitch, I did it. Cool. Send me a pic to prove it. Chatsports.com/flowers. 50% off all gifts and all flowers. Let's get back into the mock draft. Pick number 111, round 4. I'm going to go with another linebacker. I'm going to go Markus Bayley. Okay? Again, you're looking at a player who's likely to be a day 3 pick. And another one where I'm trying to climb into the mind of Mayock and Jon Gruden. And what type of players that they're going to be looking for. And I think that's Markus Bayley. Why do I say that? You're looking for a true blue-collar linebacker. A guy who's probably only going to be able to play 2 downs in the NFL. It's part of it. But we do need a middle linebacker if you move on from Vontaze. And we're going to be even more thin if you decide to move on from Tahir. But if you want a leader on defense, if you want a solid tackler, if you want somebody with a very high football IQ to build around, Markus Bayley is that guy. Very, very smart player. Now, he does have some injury concerns, but at 6'1", 240, you're looking for a guy late in round 4, Markus Bayley could be your guy. Now, let's go to round 7, pick 204. Now, I'll be honest with you guys. I don't know a lot about Nigel Warrior, but the important one to pick here, or the important thing to note, is this conditional pick from the Mac trade could have landed anywhere between the 5th and 7th round. From my understanding, it is expected to be in the 7th round. He's often criticized for his tackling. Okay? Often criticized for his tackling. One thing that I noticed from Warrior, he tried to get better at tackling last season. And if you keep watching his tape later on in the season, he does get better. At 6 foot, 190 pounds, I like Warrior, and I'm going to go with Tom's theory. He's got a freaking awesome name. If Nigel Warrior goes to the Raiders, Nigel Warrior, if you're watching, if you go to the Raiders, I am personally going to buy a shirt. I am personally going to buy a jersey, and we're going to do a giveaway here on the Raiders Report. So subscribe. It's the only way you're going to win it. YouTube.com/Raiders Report. So let's take you through my first mock draft of the offseason. Number 12, CeeDee Lamb. Number 19, Kristian Fulton of LSU. And I'm going to go linebacker with Akeem Davis-Gaither. Bradlee and I from Utah get that edge rusher. Then another round 3 pick here. We got Denzel Mims. Pick number 111, Markus Bayley. And then rounding out my full 7-round mock draft for the Raiders. At pick 204, Nigel, freaking awesome name Warrior. Now I want you guys to grade my Raiders mock draft. A, B, C, D, or F. Raider Nation, what's going on? Is this the #1 Raiders channel on YouTube? For Chucky Heads, believe it, baby. And if you haven't already, subscribe right here. I'm giving you Chucky Heads, news, rumors, Raider Nation rumors. And look at this, I'm making your life easier. Check out my next video. Thanks for watching, and go Raiders.